breaks down. So let's talk about the winds. Our max wind gusts here, 72 miles per hour, but right now gusting to right around 60. South of us, a little stronger, around 80 miles per hour gusting in Key West. And from past hurricanes, I've had people come up to me and say, Steph, this has got to be 100 miles an hour. No, no, no. Think about it. Think about standing on top of the car, and the car is going 100 miles an hour. You can't stand up. You cannot stand up in that, and it's even hard when we get some of these stronger gusts to stand still, just like this. Now, of course, that rain has been persistent. It's like being in a shower. Of course, you have it blowing horizontally, and it burns your face, but that tropical rain, those raindrops just continue to fall persistently here, and that's going to be the story as we head throughout the day. Now, again, on our radar picture, where you see the green, that is lighter rain relative to where you see perhaps the yellow and orange colors. Where you see the yellow and orange, that's heavy rain and wind like we're experiencing here in Naples. On the radar picture, where you see the hole, like that, that is the eye. And of course, the eye wall, that's where you have the strongest winds, and we're experiencing some of those. And then where it's clear on the radar, that's the actual eye. And guess what? There's no rain there. It's amazing when you go through winds like this, and then you have no rain in the eye in the center of the storm. And then you get the second half of the storm. Now, of course, this system is moving across Florida in a northwesterly pattern. So what's happening is on the south side of the storm, it's worse than it is here, believe it or not, towards the Everglades, because you have the storm moving from west to east, and the winds on the south side are also moving west to east, so you kind of get those double winds. On the north side, the winds move east to west, while the storm is moving west to east, so it kind of counteracts those winds. All right, Mike, it continues to go downhill. We just got another terrible squall going through right now. Are your conditions improving?
Hey, good morning, Steph. Yeah, the weather has improved a little bit. It's not raining nearly as hard. In fact, right now, it's really not raining at all. Just some light rain, as we've seen on the radar. Look behind me. This is looking up Duval Street. We've got a little bit of light here, and you can see there's some palm fronds down. Still the wind gusting 60 to 70 miles an hour. Our peak was 82. That was measured a little before 3, but then the communications between the airport and the National Weather Service broke. So we'll have to wait until after the storm and they get that set back up to find out what the actual peak wind was. I'm thinking at least 90, if not 95 miles an hour. A lot of standing water out here, little debris. But again, this is the kind of stuff that Key West could clean up in about one day. Let's go down Duval Street towards the Atlantic shoreline and show you what we saw just a couple of hours ago. Surge running 3 to 4 feet, and many of these streets along Atlantic, Roosevelt, and up there around the southernmost point continues to flood. Again, with a surge of 3 to 4 feet, that is worse than we saw during Rita, Dennis, and also Katrina. But that should back off in the next few hours as we start to back those winds around. Right now, running west-southwest. The other thing we've noticed is that certainly the power is out. The power came off at about 12:35 this morning, so it's been off a good 5.5 hours. That is probably going to be the #1 issue in Key West, is getting the power back on. But I've walked around these blocks within the La Concha where we're staying, the only hotel in town that's open, and have not seen any trees or power lines down. That's not to say there aren't trees and power lines down on the island here at Key West, but at least in our own little neck of the woods downtown, things are in pretty good shape structurally. No serious damage. The worst I've seen, again, is just some minor debris to clean up. A few signs have been blown down, and a few of those awnings have been kind of ripped apart. One other thing we want to think about is getting everybody back here, because they're taking a huge impact. They've never had any of Fantasy Fest, the biggest week to 10 days of the entire year here in Key West, canceled in 27 years. Of course, they've never had a late season hurricane like this. By my estimation, they're probably going to be able to clean this up in about a day, and then maybe get the people back here Wednesday or Thursday. The only issue right now is how bad or how long is it going to take to clean up, get the power back on here in Key West. That remains to be seen. Of course, it'll be very interesting at first light to see how things look around the rest of the town. Remember, Key West is only 8 square miles. Okay, the worst is ended here as far as the rainfall, but it has moved up the Keys, up to our north and east, up in the upper Keys. Key Largo, Jim Cantori, out there with those boats, out on that little inland waterway. Jim, how's it going up there this morning?
Mike, it's going pretty good, but, you know, the worst of the weather definitely moving in here now. I'll tell you, if you've ever had the opportunity, folks, to stand there and watch a transformer go, it's not just one big pop. It goes in like 2 or 3 phases, and boy, when it goes, it sounds like somebody's shooting at you, that's for sure. You can see behind me here, this beautiful sport fishing boat here just continues to rock, no doubt about it. We're not seeing any water come up, so that is a great thing. Now we're into these bands that are moving this way, so as long as that water doesn't come up, that is a good thing. We're close to low tide, which I believe is at 7 a.m. this morning. You'll notice the palm trees flowing pretty good, too. We're talking about winds here, probably gusting 50, 60, at times 70 miles an hour, especially on top of those buildings. There's a huge difference from up on the 5th floor of the building that we're broadcasting from to where I am down here in the marina. A huge difference. And obviously, the winds are blowing enough so that we're seeing some of these transformers blow and some of these trees swaying around pretty nastily. Let's show you some pictures here of around this area. Simon Temperton and his photographer are out just shooting right now and bringing some of this stuff back to us. We'll feed it to you. You can see what's happening. Again, occasionally a tree limb down. Occasionally you'll see, you know, obviously the wind with the rain around a little bit. But so far we fared pretty well. This is the worst of it coming through Key Largo right now. As I look around, even from this vantage point, there is not much left on with respect to the lights. So power definitely out here in Key Largo at this time, and we will continue to see that as we go on through the morning hours. Now, what's going to be interesting to see is what the difference is in the wind, even a couple of flights up. They call that the crow's nest, if you will. If you're a fisherman or a salesman, you get up on that top level, I guarantee you that wind is probably 10, even 20 miles stronger than it is down and through here. We'll check it out for you, report back to you. Right now, again, guys, we're losing power, the heaviest rain and the heaviest wind moving through the upper Keys as we speak. Back to you.
Well, thank you.